Hi, welcome to the tree ship, which is currently not visited all that often because we've grown another one closer to home, and my influencing this meadow by mowing has been minimal. And we're not all that often in here, so it's currently mostly home to all other kin, including a little deer who grows up around here, and all the birds and the bees and the bugs and the spiders and the ants and all of them. And I thought I'd just point out a couple of the congruences and fractalities and pattern integrities that we are to behold around here if we want to. And something that kind of jumps out time and again with all kinds of these various shapings and reshapings of universe is that it's triangles and more triangles everywhere. And sometimes that's quite obvious, as in perhaps the trefoil of the clover, or whatever this is. This isn't proper clover, I guess. That is clover over there. And every one of its trefoil leaves is a triangle. Sometimes they come in fours, so it's growing from a 4-eyes to an 8-eyes. There's another trefoil, but all the other things also, everything that radiates out and branches up, like so, eventually grows into a triangle with one another, you know. And on the tree we find half of the sphere growing upwards towards the skies, and the other half growing down to the ground as the roots. Half a sphere here, half a sphere there. And whenever that one main trunk of the tree branches out into roots and branches and twigs and leaves and so forth, it is following triangulation, right? It's opening a triangle here towards the sky, and it's the third side of the triangle is implied, you know, it's the one that is complemented by the rest of universe, and it's opening up an embrace, sort of one embrace after the other. And looking at one like this, there's like a main branch with several coming off of it, and then we have a bifurcation, so to speak, here, where it's like really more like 5 fingers coming out. No, that's 4, 5, something like that. But one main bifurcation, and here's another bifurcation and another one. Bye. But the flowers go 5-fold, because that's like a dozen 8-eyes. That's a lot of, or a hand. That's a full handful of grasping out, rather than just a small 4-eyes or so. But we find that too, because in here, that main branch, if you like, actually takes a trifurcation, so it's branching out into a 4-eyes. Whoop. There. And then those go out and triangulate a little more. And again we have the 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 5 is fine. 5 is like when taking a bite out of universe. The main corner in the very top layer of my tree ship there, with the bamboo weave, the kagome weave, there's one main corner up there in the middle somewhere that has only 5 triangles around it rather than 6. There, that one. So it opens up that hand and makes the whole unfold and spread out as a concave or convex sphere membrane. And on the top it's convex, so it sheds what it otherwise would be collecting. And then on the smaller scales again we have lots of left angles here and there that just, you know, complement one another quite well. And I find one of the sweetest circles and cycles and spheres that I find as one of the synergies in this whole tree ship in the garden experience is to see that the wasps, there's one here and another one there, they were originally, I think, living or setting up their structures, their nests, most likely when the sail was still wrapped up somewhere in there, or perhaps closer to the bamboo on the very top, but probably in a place that was sheltered from the waters, from the rain. Alas, it's not really raining that much, so I think they were taken by surprise by a thunderstorm or something, and they landed down under here, down on the ground with their wasp nest. But you see, the material that they make their honeycomb from, which isn't really a honeycomb because there's no honey in it, and it's not wax, but this is paper, sort of. And this paper is coming from the tree ship and other, so to speak, lifeless or dead wood. You know, they come and they sit down on this and they nibble away little by little by little, taking a bite here and there, and then they gather them and then they make their nests, and the nests are just as hexagonal as are the bees ones. You know, the honeycomb is praised by many for its sensible use of space-time by following along the pattern, the way of the spheres, and allowing for everyone to take up a lot of take up very little room, relatively speaking, by giving a lot. Right, so that's the kind of the secret sauce of the hex, because if we do draw in all the lines in this one, we find it's 6 fingers going through the center here. Oop, oop. There. So it's really 6 triangles, 6 eyes. And these 6 eyes as room in the middle, as a membership, have only 6 fingers around them. Right, so there's 6 fingers radiating and then 6 around. So in other words, it's a dozen. Like, let's look at this. This is nice, right? Same thing. Six eyes around one finger, one heart, center of this, and a full circle is 6 steps around 6 eyes. And this has all these 6 eyes of area complementing for one another, while if we look at this one, this is also 6 fingers around, but it's just 4 eyes within. And that kind of shows how the triangle it's spreading out thinly in a way, and it's reaching far out, while, you know, giving very little, or embracing some little of the inside, the whatever we are embracing here. Right, and if we are taking spheres and we have 6 spheres are just coming, hold on, they are 6, that's the same as this, so there's 6 steps around, 6 intervals around, and there's 4 eyes between them, and it's these 6 spheres. And if we were to push in a number 7, like on this one it shows nicely, this is the same on the top, 6 in a triangle, and on the next layer below that we have a hex, right? So that layer looks like this, well, without the 3 on the corners, of course, like that. So here's our hex again, it's the 6 around 1. Whoop. And these 6 around 1 are the next layer, the middle layer on this. And that's the same 6 as these, just with a 7th in the middle, and then the other move out and make room for it, and it looks like that. So in a way the hex is it's the omni-embracing of space-time. And it's not necessarily flat at all, you know, it can wrap up and become various folds and reach around the bodies of space-time. But our bee and wasp kin, they know how to make most use of the integrity of the whole, because they just really follow along the way of the spheres, one after another, adding on, leaving that room for one another between and among all of them. Minding the common gaps in resonance and resonance with one another, and as such with the whole